welcome to NatFun, a live-recorded tabletop role-playing adventure game where the dice and a few friends tell the story. In this episode, we will be continuing our sci-fi adventure utilizing Esper Genesis, a 5th edition compatible game system. My name's Jackie, and I will be your game master for this adventure. And I'm, of course, joined by some soon-to-be the proud new thieves of a space cruiser.
It's a lot of pressure, Jackie. We have a lot of rolls to get there.
It might just be puddles. You never know.
My name's Dan, and I'll be playing Dathkar Kratha, a Madokai Sentinel, as well as Tuvelis,
Death Star,
a Bellari Engineer.
Good old two.
He's going to remove his armor, and there'll just be a giant Death Star tattoo on his chest.
I have this plan. I have an idea.
When he punches, he doesn't punch with his right and his left. He punches with the light and the dark side of the Force.
I'm Matt. I'll be playing Ulrich Tyning, a Dendis Cybermancer, and his dog Squid Slick, actually. And I'm going to steal me a spaceship.
Now, as I mentioned, we will be, again, playing Esper Genesis by Alligator Alley Entertainment in the continuation of Skydawn Game Studios' Crucible Corps module, which is actually a lot of different modules. I believe they have over 17 or 18 of them that you can purchase and play through. We'll have links to both the game system and the Crucible Corps modules in our show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com, if you want to check them out yourself. But before the scheming and plotting of stealing a Star Cruiser begins, we of course have some shoutouts. Each session we write down fun things everyone did in-game on our Adventure Google Doc. It's a great way to lift up your fellow players and earn some in-game bonuses as well. For this adventure, we are switching up our GM inspiration to be an Esper gain, a simple, automatic +4 to a check or attack roll under the same guidelines as Bardic Inspiration. And I'm excited because I think you guys actually used all of your Esper gains last session or last episode, so you might actually want them back.
Mm-hmm.
As always, the first shout out will grant the recipient this reward, and the second will grant the person who posted it the Esper gain. First number is a 4.
That is to Jackie from Dan. The rule of cool a lot in the session. It made a lot of fun where you just kind of let us bend the rules a bit just for flair and more excitement, especially when it started off with us stalling out on the line, giving Dathkar that chance to reach across and be the driver for his turn instead. Just made it more fun than us sitting there twiddling our thumbs the whole time. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
You let me bend the rules too and do some side swipes and slam on brakes and chaotic stuff, so that was a lot of fun. Thank you. And our next number is a 3. And this one is from me to Dan/Tavelis. Props for your quick thinking on the mechanics shop as a retreat at the end of the chase. I thought that was really cool because being the focus player, Tavelis is supposed to kind of know the lay of the land a little bit, but it was like quick, on point. You were so in character, and you even had like reasoning and rationale why it was a good location. I was like, well, that's better than I could have come up with quickly. So that was awesome.
All right. Appreciate it.
Oh, is that the bar? We have to beat you. Okay. Nope, just no.
So, since I can't get an Esper gain, I'm going to have both of them go to Dan. So, one will go to Tuvelis and one will go to Dathkar.
All right.
Sorry, Ulrich.
It's all right. I just waste them anyway and roll 8s and 9s.
But that's going to be an Esper gain to Tuvelis and an Esper gain to Dathkar. Is it Kratha?
Kratha.
I've never said the last name. Kratha. Dathkar Kratha.
You gotta say Kratha. Like a Klingon. Oh.
There you go. And snort a little bit. And you know, just for funsies, because it's more fun if everyone can play. Let's see, odd or even, Dan?
Odd.
Even. So it's mine. I'm going to do my shout out to Matt/Ulrich. So you can have an Esper gain. You get an Esper gain. You get an Esper gain. You get an Esper gain. Because it's more fun when you have the fun stuff. But my shout out to you, Matt, was super cool to use your levitate Esper power to rip Tarko off the bike to end the chase. That was so cool. Such a scene stealer moment like in a movie. I thought it was really ambitious and awesome.
If it had failed, it would have been like, ha ha. But yeah, I had it in the back pocket. I was going through all my Esper powers, and I'm like, oh, this could work. Oh, this is like not like, you know, sleight of hand stuff. This is a beast. I'm like, all right, let's try that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun. So, Esper gains to everyone all the way around.
Nice.
And with that, who's ready to become Big Dang Space Heroes?
I will smuggle dachshunds one day.
Beagles.
It's Beagles. It's Beagles.
Beagle smuggler.
Beagle smuggler. Better than cows.
It's been too long since we watched the show. We'll have to watch the whole series again.
Sounds like a plan.
Last episode on Cipher Syndicate. Our crew tore through the entertainment district on hoverbikes, chasing Tarko and the stolen keycard. After smashing through signs, toxic fumes, and more than one brief argument over who was actually driving, Dathkar and Tavelis, they closed the gap, bringing the pursuit to a halting end when Ulrich levitated Tarko off his bike. They recovered the keycard, but Tarko took his own life before revealing any information.
Quitter.
Rhona quickly ushered them off the street and into a small safe house where she revealed her true identity as an undercover Silrain Defense Force agent and explained the stakes. A hidden string of code buried within the new Hyperlance starcruiser. It was meant to be safe, hidden in plain sight. But someone found it. She needs help. She needs a crew to steal a starcruiser.
All right.
We rejoin our players having just achieved a long rest in the safe house apartment as they begin to discuss their plan to sneak onto the highly popular Hyperlance starcruiser. So I had described this space. It's really simple. It is gray concrete on gray concrete on gray concrete in a box. But there is a small table with 4 chairs. There's a very small kitchen area, like a galley kitchen, and there were a couple of rooms where you were all able to stay overnight. And Rhona is in the kitchen using the machine to just, how would we describe it? It's kind of like, I'm envisioning like a Star Trek food creator system. You just like push a button and it just 3D prints the food.
I was kind of going something like that, and the one that was from Upload, it was more of like a food printer.
Yeah.
Kind of between the two.
It sounds good to
The
me.
food hologram printer, like it's going to construct the food the same way that her helmet came on. So the helmet comes on as a hologram and then solidifies as a solid object. So you're able to kind of flip through all the holograms, hit the button, and then it solidifies, becomes a solid thing, and she brings it over. So what is everybody eating for breakfast? Because you got to have a good breakfast before you want to steal a ship. Like, that's just Space Raider 101.
I think Ulrich would be eating like something that's like a mix of his traditional food and like normal like space food. So it's gonna be like a squid on toast. Is probably what he's having for breakfast.
What does Slick think of
Poor
this?
Slick.
Yeah. Turn away. Bro.
Slick eats them too. It's a little guy. These are mini squid, little fishies. It's like sardines and little squids on toast and coffee. So Slick gets some too.
Slick is just telepathically telling you, at least you're not making me eat my own young this time.
Oh, God.
You had too many.
Oh, Jesus.
1,000 is too many mouths to feed.
Terrible. Dathkar will have a large portion of meat. He would like a crispy critter, but that machine can't print anything that's alive and moving, so he'll have to deal with already dead food, but he won't complain.
I can hear Dathkar now. It's just not the same when it's printed.
Definitely is not.
It's full of preservatives.
And Tavelis, I mean, doesn't really need much. Take maybe a nutrient supplement to just inject into its food port or energy port and just process and just like a vitamin. Kind of think of a daily multivitamin essentially for Tavelis.
It runs a debugging
Eat
protocol.
9 volts like they're vitamin C.
There's a virus scan.
Honestly, all I had in the back of my head is him pulling a plug out and just sticking it into the wall.
And Rhona's going to print a total pub fare. She's going to have a big old
Nice.
greasy burger, a cup of fries, some mozzarella sticks, some nachos, a big tall beer, and she comes over and sets it down.
Good lord, I hope you burn them calories.
Dathkar will grab a chunk of meat in his...
Are you calling me fat?
Nope.
Dathkar will grab a chunk of meat in his claw and say, I'll eat to that, and just start shoving it in his mouth. Gnawing
Nice.
on the bones.
Nice.
So, I didn't get a chance to ask. How did you all meet? You seem to be somewhat coordinated. Have you been traveling together long?
I was looking for some work, and had done a few jobs with our buddy Leo, and then Dathkar and I met, and kind of ran a few jobs. Nothing too long ago, but a little bit. It's been a good fit, and then, I don't know, we found this guy as luggage or something.
I was not luggage, I was a stowaway. Thank you very much. And I paid for transport off that planet.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I paid the large one.
Dathkar, is it?
Yes,
Do you have military training? It seems like you do.
I do. I did my time of service. I outgrew their needs and moved on to my own.
Sounds fitting. And Tevelis, is it?
Yes?
You were a stowaway.
Yes, on the previous ship where Dathkar and Ulrich found me. And Leo.
Were you running from something? It would be helpful to know if we're attracting any additional heat before we try to steal the most publicized star cruiser in this side of the galaxy.
No, there was another android on that starship that was the focus of the attention of the mercenaries. They had no interest in me or no knowledge of me. I don't know, the others may be able to tell you more.
Have any of you worked for any corporations lately?
No, but I got involved with something, but it's taken care of. I just got some bills to pay. Worked with the wrong people.
Did you recognize the suits in the club?
Seen them, but never really had a run-in with them.
Dathkar would just be like, no, it's not a detail I'll remember.
You were dead at the time.
Not wrong. Well, they were Zephyr Corp. It's one of the largest communications corporations. They have a strong foothold here in Peltavaria. I suspected they hired the Omega Fist gang, and my suspicions were true.
Well, I don't much get along with criminals. They've definitely taken me down the path more than once.
Well, I wouldn't say they're criminals. Not as most people would know it. Have you ever bought an advertisement in the middle of a commercial on a show that you're watching?
Yeah, sure, I suppose. Who hasn't?
Then you've supported the Zephyr Corporation. All that proprietary tech and communication code is them. It's theirs. Which means they're everywhere. They have a far reach.
What does that have to do with the spaceship?
Well, let me find the best wording.
Hardball questions here.
You're good.
Labamanian.
Well, I mentioned briefly to you last night. You know that story that parents told their androids at home to try to keep them from murdering them in their sleep, about a secret code that could rewrite everything and anything instantly?
Yes, I'm aware of that one.
Simply called the Great Code?
Yeah.
It's a suitable name, I guess.
It's a fairy tale. It's like, that's not a thing. We can tweak code, we can mess with it, but it takes time, it takes energy.
Well, someone found it. The ancients had it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was their undoing, but it was split up, spread across the galaxy to keep it protected. I'm one of the agents, sought with protecting one of them. Our mission was to have it hidden in plain sight. There is code hidden within the Hyperlance Star Cruiser that is a segment of the Great Code. Clearly someone has found out, and they know that I am the only one that can access it. We need to get it off this space station. Urgently.
I've heard of androids being used to transmit codes against their will as well. Have you heard about any such thing at this station?
I have gotten some communiques of that, and I was aware of the Basilisk long before you told me the story. There's some dirty dealings going on now. There's 6 major corporations that are all trying to find the Great Code. And I suspect they're trying to alter what they think it is, whether they have any or not, to try and control these androids. Can you imagine the power someone would have if they could, with the flip of a switch or the push of a button, control every android in the galaxy? An unstoppable army.
Ooh.
Have you been working on anything to combat this? Anything to prevent this? Essentially a vaccine for androids that would prevent this from contaminating them.
No. There are some brilliant minds doing just that. But, medical training wasn't my specialty. And she kind of reaches down and she taps her pistol with her fingers. But can I sense that you understand the gravity of this situation?
Yeah, the peace that we've done by cooperation, and, you know, nothing's perfect, but the galaxy's a pretty reasonable place, and, you know, most times not too much severe happens within most of these eyes. I mean, there's always dark dealings, but this sounds like people who are after money and power would be in control of everything, and they might do it by force, and nobody should have all the power.
And Rhona's gonna grab the steak knife that's sitting in her burger, and she's gonna pick it up and she's gonna stab it into the table right next to where Dathkar's hand is sitting. You, lizard boy. This concerns you as well.
Yeah? I mean, a robot army is just more things to smash.
How many do you think you could take on at one time? Have you ever heard of an overwhelming force? Some things can be squashed like a simple bug. Yet if there's 10, 20, 100 of them, you can be easily overwhelmed.
Dathkar's gonna kind of shiver for a second, and he's like, I understand your concerns at this point. Let me see. I understand your concerns.
Thank you. And she pulls the knife sharply out of the table. So, we have one key to this operation. Mine. It'll get us in the door of the Hyperlance. But I'm trained military. What should we call this operation? Or our strike force, one might say.
Yes, we'll look around the room.
Toaster box. No.
Bodie McBoatface.
Salt fork. Sorry, I'll stop.
Sentinel Cybermancer Android Squadron.
Oh, so you just don't want to count me? Thanks.
Cybermancer.
Love you too, Tavelis.
That's the Ska Squad.
I picked it up.
Brilliant.
I wasn't going to encourage it.
I've been sitting on that forever.
Nice. Well, I haven't got to name a lot of things, but I was thinking about it, you know, with our skills, what it's going to take, tech, and, you know, Esper, and everything that's here, the cyber issues. I was thinking, you know, we're going to steal the ship, and I thought, what if we were the Cyber Lancers?
That has promise. Doesn't really have a ring to it. There's no abbreviation that you can
doesn't.
really chant or anything, but
Yeah, no,
don't
I
hear
get
it
you.
whispered in the halls.
No,
Ska Squad.
I know. It needs to be- You hear Slick.
No retching in the safe house.
No, not the door.
How can a squid get a hairball?
He's got a piece of squid stuck in his throat.
What about you, lizard boy?
Yeah, what do you got?
I don't care what we call ourselves. Let Ulrich decide. Or the robot.
Oh, God.
Doesn't
no.
matter.
Yeah, no, if the robot wants something, but let's be inclusive here. Kind of saved our butts. Rhona's got some say in this. What do you think there, Gizmos and Gears?
I think Tavelis will speak up.
What about all or nothing? If we fail and this code gets out, then we have nothing.
I don't personally care.
What?
I said I don't really care. I just throwing out what Tavelis is thinking.
No, that's cool. I'm liking it. I was trying to keep with your ska theme, and I was gonna go save cyber Activists.
Space crew affiliates.
What was Space crew affiliates? That's not bad, actually, going back to it. I can live with it.
Squadron for Cosmic Assessment Squadron.
Saving cosmic asses.
All right, I'm going to executive decision it if you guys are good with it.
Sure.
You got something. Go for it.
Well,
Rhona, throw it out.
Well, it sounds like you can't quite decide on a name, so how are we going to pick a plan? Beyond me, but when the infantry fails, who do you send in?
Specialists.
The cavalry.
Cavalry.
Cyberlances it is.
All right.
Unless you guys have a different way we can end that, that's totally fine. I'm good with whatever.
That's good.
We could just sit here for another 25
I
minutes
know,
coming
that's
up with
probably
names.
we could keep going there.
So, you had the whole night to think about it. What's the plan?
Well, if we can create some sort of emergency as a diversion, either to get people to evacuate the hangar bay, we would have less eyes on us. If we could potentially take out the security system, cameras, and block out communications, we would have a much greater chance of success.
I see where you're going. Oxygen-rich environment, completely sealed. Fire.
Oof.
I'm kidding.
Well, but on the same kind of thing is actually the opposite of the oxygen rich. What if we depressurize the area for a moment? And to add, like what Tavelis was thinking, I like that idea. You know, get people out, make it a scary place. But who do you call in when something's broken? You call in a maintenance crew. Could we get some jumpsuits and a couple badges and walk in like we own the place? Pretend like we belong there.
Now, I understand the importance of this mission, but I do want to emphasize civilians have no part in this conflict. I want to involve them as minimal as possible.
Looking at you, Death Car.
So I'm a little bit concerned about depressurizing or eliminating oxygen even for a short period of time. We don't know how far the reach of the Zephyr Corporation and the Omega Fist gang has gone, but the ship is on a docking bay. There shouldn't be more than a few security guards, but there's going to be a lot of media and tours and VIPs there.
Well, we don't have to depressurize it. We just need to create the alarm that would... or we need to just set off the alarm that would create that situation of panic and force an evacuation.
Depressurization imminent, something like that. That's great. I like that.
Tavelis, could you interface with the core systems?
I may have a trick or two up my proverbial sleeve.
You look good in sleeves. I've got some ideas too. I can mess with things that are turned off, so if we don't get everybody out of there or we need a distraction, I might be able to twinkle fingers a few robots or pieces of equipment to kind of give a little more chaos to the situation.
Please don't twinkle fingers me.
That's not what you said yesterday.
Rhona giggles.
Where'd that go?
And what about you? She looks over at Dathkar.
Oh god. Civilians, remember the civilians.
I don't hurt civilians. I may scare a few of them. I may handle them a little rougher than they like to be handled. But if they listen, they have nothing to worry about.
Okay.
What do you think? Maybe he's security and we're maintenance to come in to fix it? Just if we move fast?
Well, I want to act quickly.
Yeah.
They don't suspect that we would seal the Hyperlance. It's the biggest focal point on this entire space station right now. But I don't want to waste time tracking down uniforms and badges.
Mm-hmm.
If you're willing to part with some of the funds that I offered you, which is my entire savings, I can probably palm some coin and get us the disguises that you're discussing. It would save us a lot of time.
What are you thinking?
To the right people, 250 to 500 cubles per suit.
Dathkar will put his hand on the Ulrich's shoulder and say, "It's only money. You can get your spaceship."
Yeah, but that's what we're doing the job for. We're not doing the job to do the job. but we don't do the job if we don't have the pieces. I think we can do that. Maybe there's a payday on the other side of this, who you never know. And if we're doing something right, you know. So, yeah, I'm down with 250 rubles to...
You do realize I'm giving you every cubicle I own, because this is so important to the safety of the entire galaxy, and you're talking about making sure you get paid. I thought we established that this was life-altering in importance.
It's important. My knees continuing to work is also important. We'll just put it that way.
Tuvelis will speak.
I'm happy to forfeit my share of the bounty on this.
No. But we'll all pitch in. I'm good with that. It's part of the deal. We're in over our heads, and this is important. I'm not altruistic, but the right thing's the right thing.
It's very Han Solo vibe going on over there.
I didn't even think about it.
Okay, if I've got this straight, we need 1 large Tavapol security uniform, 3 maintenance uniforms, 2. Tavelis, do you need any
2.
designation?
And maybe a sticker for him.
I'll get you a safety vest.
Little red flashing light on top.
That will be sufficient.
No.
Okay, and she gets up and she walks over to the kind of galley kitchen space, and there is like a hard-lined 80s style wall phone, maybe 90s style wall phone in the wall. She picks it up, dials, and she starts talking quietly, and you have just a moment amongst the 3 of you to discuss anything you would like to do before you start this mission.
Ulrich looks over at Dathkar and I go, look, this is the right thing, but we can get in trouble doing the right thing or what we think's the right thing. I mean, look how we got here. I'm up for it, but I've been in trouble before and under somebody's thumb. I don't like it.
You worry too much.
Yeah, that happens when you kind of wind up having two Krubels to rub together at the end of the whole situation and somebody wanting them. We need almost a backup plan just in case, and whatever that is. Just think on it before we get there. I don't like just a plan A. I'm thinking plan B or C here, or D. When it all goes to hell, not if, when, what are we going to do? I want to get the ship, but if we got to ditch it, we got to figure that out. I can fly it, I think.
Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we get here.
Alright.
Let's say that.
Right now, it doesn't seem like there's any better option on the table than what we've been presented with. We should move forward with this, and if everything goes to plan, there won't be a plan B or C. If there needs to be a change of plans, please make sure I've been made aware of that.
Think Omega, just in case.
And you hear the phone click back into place on the wall as Rhona comes back over. All right, I'll have uniforms in 10. Is there anything else you need before we go?
No, I've been ready for the last 6 hours.
Sounds like a microwave going off at 3 a.m. Ding! Well, actually, I'm just going to throw it out. I have a couple things up my sleeve if we get into a pinch. I've got a couple ideas to throw people off if we're asked about things. I might need to do a little quick handwork, but if you guys can be a distraction...
What you do on your own time is your own to discuss.
I have a way to make it seem more legitimate if we get asked what we're doing. I've got 2 things in my pack here that I think could help us, but only if we need to. I'll just need you guys to run interference while I do it.
Actually, Tuvelis will do one thing before we go here. He's going to look over at Dathkar and say,
You take a lot of damage. Let me take a look at your gear.
And it will begin to tinker with Dathkar's armor and make some adjustments and tweaks and interface with it a bit. And that will add a +1 AC bonus to his armor that will last for the next 12 hours. It's his gear enhancement ability. There's one I tried to use in the middle of combat, and you're like, actually, you have to use it before. So
awesome.
Let's just say that guy.
It takes an hour to do.
Yeah. So we'll say that happened.
Very
in the
cool.
morning.
And actually, on that same concept, I'm going to remember to do this because I forgot to do it early in the day yesterday and it didn't work out so well for me. Ulrich's going to remember and concentrate, and this is something he can do with his abilities. He can protection field. So he now has an additional AC. He has a little bit of a cyber glow that kind of absorbs into him, and he has a couple more bits of armor on him that are hidden under his clothes to help him, that are mentally powered by his abilities.
Cool. So what's the AC bonus you get?
I get 2, so I'm at 15.
Nice.
Woo.
Hey, better than you were before.
Yeah, that's a big improvement.
All right, Cyber Lances. We ride. And Rhona pushes the chair back from the table, stands up, walks over to the elevator, and says, "This will take us to the arrival bay of Peltiveria. Small shop, just across from the docking bays.
Okay.
The Hyperlance is in docking bay 6.
6. Okay.
Are you ready?"
Yeah, I'll prep on the way. We're good.
Dathkar will kind of twist his back and crack every bone in his body and neck and jaw and fingers and just tail right down to the end of his tail. You just hear all this cracking.
Ew.
And-
I hate it so much. I hate everything about it.
As they're kind of walking out, Ulrich reaches up into his tentacles on his head, his hair, and he gently pulls out Slick, and he kind of pats him a little bit. He goes, "Buddy, I got a plan for you potentially. So you're gonna be help if we need it." And he pushes him into a little satchel he carries on, and he's got some of his tools and his little data pads and stuff in there, and he puts Slick in there with all that stuff. And he says, "Just hang out." And he throws a little piece of bread in there quietly.
As you step into the elevator, it's very small, just like yesterday when you stepped into it. But as the door closes and Rhona punches in a code rather than the floor that you would normally be going to, as it starts to ascend, you actually watch the entire elevator almost phase in and out like a hologram. And you feel like you're traveling forwards, backwards, like you're turning in a vehicle, ascending again, descending. And eventually it slows. Bing! The door opens, and when you step out of the elevator, you see a supply room filled with boxes of just old tech in plastic baggies, stapled with these crummy handwritten labels, and Al would recognize it as the shop where he bought his used data pad. And as you look across the space, you see 2 maintenance crew suits and a large Peltiveria security suit sitting on a desk.
Still gonna be a bit snug on you, but that's quick work.
Dathkar will go over and put it on as gingerly as possible to not rip the seams on it.
Dathkar gets it almost all the way on, and then you hear a as one of the spikes on his back rips through the back of it, but it is what it is.
They're only gonna need it for a minute. Ulrich puts on his, and I think they got these for humans. I'm gonna have to roll up the cuffs, but this should work. my legs are fine, but my arm, it's a little baggy. All right, we're good. I got this. He goes over to the shelf and he grabs some duct tape and wraps it around to tighten it up a little bit.
Rhona grabs hers, steps into it. It's kind of like a flight suit style, zips it up.
Yep.
Stop complaining. We're gonna save the galaxy. And she walks out into the store.
Hers fits perfectly.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She paid
looks
more
like
for
it's all
hers.
tailored.
She walks into the store. The store owner isn't there. There's no customers in there, even though you can see a hustle and bustle of people outside. The storefront actually has the open sign is turned off, but you were able to walk out the doors into the arrival terminal that you came originally to Peltiveria. And you see the restaurants, Crispy Critter Cuisine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crispy Critter Cuisine. You see the row of hotels. You see advertisements everywhere. You see the Hyperlance has been moved. It's not in the main foyer space anymore. There are 15 docking bays in this space, and it appears that 12 of them have a green light above them, representing that they have a ship there, that they're occupied. Okay, I'm going to fall back. If any of you fail, I will continue. You are not my priority. Getting the Hyperlance into safe hands and that code protected is.
Not a problem.
We got it. We'll do our best.
So what are you guys doing? Big open space, lots of people.
All right. I'm thinking about this. Tavelis, Dathkar, we need to find a place where we can set this whole thing in motion. We got to figure out where the ship is. It's not where it once was. And we got to set off an issue and then be on foot by the time it happens. What do you think?
Well, we just need to make it to docking bay 6, and from there the controls for that bay should be pretty local.
Okay. I like it. So we need you to make this happen. I can maybe help a little bit, and like I said, I can add a little chaos to the situation if it doesn't go off smooth.
Might I chime in? Standing here and discussing what we're doing, not blending in.
No,
we already discussed that. Where are we going?
We're walking to basics. We're walking to basics. Let's get over
Tuvelis will hear it and start moving through the crowd, keeping more off to the side, not just walking right down the middle. He's going to try to be a little incognito, or what he feels is incognito, as in blending in without hopefully being too obvious, sticking to the sides and just meandering through, working his way towards docking bay 6.
All right, what about Ulrich? What's your persona for this jaunt across the open space?
Well, Dathkar's a fairly obvious element, and especially in a security uniform, so I'm going to step aside a little bit and move away, and then try to get close to Velis and look like we're kind of a maintenance team and move that way.
And Dathkar's, he's just going to be walking slowly behind them. He wants to keep eyes on the two of them, and not... He doesn't have to be close to them to get close to them if he needs to, so he'll be about 30 feet back, monitoring the situation.
All right, let's roll some dice.
All right.
So let's have Tavelis do a stealth check for me. Pretty low DC right now. Ulrich, I want you to do a performance check for me, please. And then Dathkar, I would say... Well, actually, Ulrich, I'd like you to do a persuasion check for me. You are trying to show that you fit in. So either persuasion or performance, your choice. Dathkar, I would say performance or intimidation.
Got it. All right, we'll start with Tuvelis. The stealth check. Oh, he rolls a 4. All right, rolls a 4.
You are an obvious droid.
Do you want to have Matt go next, or how do you want us to play this out?
Yeah, let's have all of you go, because I'm doing a group check here. Let's see if the group can overcome DC.
Persuasion for Ulrich is 12.
Okay.
He's a little nervous, but he's done this job before, and he's kind of got the walk.
Dathkar rolls a 9, so he's in performance. That suit's a little tight. Uncomfortable.
We are
right.
really nailing this, guys.
So I had the DC set at 10, a combined 10 for everybody, so it would have been 30, which means that you're 2/3 of the way there, but you don't have enough to completely succeed on that. So go ahead and describe to me what this looks like.
I think Tuvelis trips over like someone's bag. They have just a bag on the ground, and it's not really paying attention, and there's just right over it a whole ruckus, and that catches Dathkar off guard a bit there, and he's not walking as calmly as a security guard would, that is casually walking would be walking. He looks a little uncomfortable and out of place.
And Ulrich, he was trying to catch up, not realizing that Tuvelis was trying to be more sneaky. He's trying to catch up, and so when he trips over, he actually, in trying to help him and play it off, he's doing so badly, he's making a bigger scene of the whole thing. Oh, it's fine. I'm sorry. We're just on our way to the maintenance bay. Well, have a great day. Come on, buddy.
Is that my supervisor calling?
And Rhona reaches down and grabs the clipboard off the bench. Excuse me, ma'am. So sorry about that. We're on our way to important maintenance of the Hyperlance. So apologies. We are on our way to maintenance. So sorry. And she kind of grabs Tavelis and Ulrich's shoulders and is like, "What are you doing?"
Acting.
Sorry.
Okay,
A little nervous.
So the basics is going to have security guards there. If you want to raise an alarm, you should probably interface with something else. There's plenty of information posts that are probably connected to the entire network, but based on that performance, I don't know if we're going to make it all the way to the bay. And she's kind of head on a swivel looking around, trying to look at every single Tavapol agent and anyone walking around to see if there's someone in disguise. She is paranoid to the nines.
Okay, let's just play this off. What if we try to go to like Bay 4 or 5 and see if we can get to, Access 6 kind of through a jumper? What do you think?
I think it's best to keep the plan simple and go directly to where we need to go.
Okay.
Not get sidetracked.
Okay.
Tuvelis will go up to the local kiosk data port again and try to interface with it here and see if he can't find out which doorways are open, if there's any closures along the way, if there's a security checkpoint and whatnot. So he's going to try to gather some information from that local checkpoint or local terminal.
Okay.
Ulrich leans over to Rhona and goes, he sticks his port in everything. He's gonna catch something, I swear.
And what's Dathkar doing while Tuvelis is trying to interface?
Dathkar will just be standing, again, 30 feet or so back, just monitoring the crowd. He's trying to keep an eye out. Same kind of as Rhona, knowing that they're potentially in danger. Almost hoping something happens.
And what about Ulrich?
Ulrich is
complaining about Tuvelis sticking his port, or his jack in every port.
He leaned over to Rhona, and then he actually goes through his bag and pulls out that broken data pad, and he's looking on it, and he's looking back at Tuvelis, trying to build the scene that they're working on something. So.
Okay, I love it. So we have Tuvelis interfacing with the computer system. We have Ulrich trying to kind of play along that they're doing some work, and we have Dathkar kind of surveying the scene and like really playing the security part. So I'm going to say Dathkar needs to make a perception check. Ulrich, I think this is going to be performance. And then for Tuvelis, let's do a computers check.
All right, Tuvelis rolls a 23 on computers.
Woohoo!
Strong suit.
Okay, come on, Ulrich. That's a 5, and I'm gonna burn my witchmajigger on it.
Well, wait
that's
and
not
see.
I can't re-roll. Never mind. I was thinking of re-roll. It's a 4. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, it only adds 4.
Yeah. All right. Dathkar gets an 11.
Okay. I was going to have the DC be at 12. Well, I was going to have this one be kind of a combined DC. I was going to do 12 for the computers and then 10 for the other two. So that'd be a total of what, 32?
32.
Which we beat that. You guys beat that. Not me.
We even beat it if it was all 12. So all right.
Rhona didn't act.
Yeah.
So
gotta keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together.
Dathkar is able to scan and look around and notices there's a couple of other Tavapol agents scattered about. Most are talking to different guests, new arrivals, and there's one or two that actually walk right past people that are kind of like raising their hand like, excuse me, can I... Oh, I didn't have a question. You look really busy. And they're just scanning and looking. Seem a little out of place. Ulrich, you are able to kind of lean over to Rhona, hit some buttons on the data pad, which I assume is not even charged because you bought it used.
No, this thing's broken. I didn't get the chance to fix it.
Buttons missing.
But you look very, very busy. Successfully busy. And Tuvelis, you are able to interface with the computer system, and you're able to get a full schematic of all the ships currently docked in all of the bays. Bay 6 is the Hyperlance. It currently has 2 security guards and 4 media groups. It doesn't specify how big they are, as well as 3 VIPs logged into the bay. And with your 23, you are still in the system, and what would you like to do next?
Pull any maintenance, mandatory maintenance or emergency maintenance that has been logged in that hangar. So if there's anything that would call for a maintenance group to show up, that's what he's looking for. Or to input that if not.
Okay. Let's have you do one more computers check for me to see how good the information is that you pull.
23. equally as good.
Nice.
Holy smokes.
So with the 23, you pull the maintenance, and obviously there's no maintenance that comes up for the Hyperlance. It's a brand new starship. It hasn't even been flown, so it has no required maintenance at this time. But you're able to see that the last 2 ships that were docked there were both small traveling vessels, kind of party buses. Again, this is like an entertainment space station that people go to for vacations. They were party buses, and the one 2 docks ago was flagged as having potential viruses. And there hasn't been a sweep of the bay yet.
Oh, perfect. As Tuvelis is done interfacing and disconnects, he'll turn to Rhona and Ulrich and relay this information.
There are currently 2 security guards at Dock 6. There are 4 media groups of an unknown size, 3 VIPs. I also was able to dig around a little further, and there's a potential for a need for a virus sweep of that dock. So that's our potential in.
I like it.
Shall we proceed?
And to look at Rhona
Yeah,
for
let's get over there and
confirmation
cause
that this works
some-
for her. He's less concerned about Ulrich, more concerned about Rhona's feedback on this one.
She just nods.
And it will continue on towards Dock 6.
Rhona follows with her clipboard that actually just has someone's vacation itinerary on it, because she described a random clipboard off of a bench. So their vacation's going to suck.
It's got the tickets and everything for shows.
Who cares if printed passport anymore? It's all digital. So you're able to walk across the open space. You go past the hotel row, and you walk up to the docking bay, and there is a Tavapol security guard in front of docking bay 6. They're fairly large. Ooh, give me a race. Give me a fun race from this system that we haven't featured yet.
Human. Have we featured humans?
Yeah, well, Tarko is Akesh. Okay, that works.
I'm just the only one I can think off the top of my head. That would. Oh, that's fine.
So you see a human guard, Tavapol security, standing outside docking bay 6.
How big is this guard?
Let's see. I do a lot of like male NPCs. Let's have it be a woman. Ooh, have we had Melanie yet? I thought we did.
I don't think we have.
I don't. She wasn't in the club, right? She wouldn't have been.
She was in the club.
She was in the club.
She was
She was in the club. There. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think the only place she would have brought up where we had a random NPC. All right, so maybe
Well,
Melanie
doesn't
got
mean
a
she
job.
didn't get a
We
job.
can have her show up again.
Yeah, she got that job.
That's all right. I think we get someone else. Keep the Melanie till one time
All right,
joke.
all right. So you walk up, and there's a female security guard there, Tavapol security. She has curly red hair tied back in a tight bun. She's got the cap on with the really short black brim, and she is holding a large data pad, similar to like an iPad or a tablet. This dock is off limits unless you have a pass.
So we have been sent here to dispatch of a virus potential that has remained in this docking bay. We don't want it to spread to the Hyperlance. We're here to ensure that does not happen.
And she looks over at Dathkar. Sir, are you letting your android speak for you? That's not Tavapol protocol.
It's here to do its job. I'm here to do mine. I don't need to talk to you. It can explain everything it needs to you.
All right, let's do a combined intimidation and persuasion check from Dathkar and Tuvelis, unless Ulrich has anything he wants to throw in. Or
I
just
can
let it play
assist with this.
Put his foot in his
just
mouth
a
real
little
quick.
bit. No, this is just a thing I can do. So I was holding on to this, but this is the right time. I can do Mind Hacker. Our guard needs to make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw, or suddenly feel afraid. She might realize it's of me. It's only for one turn, but I'm just trying to instill fear of the situation into her using this ability.
Okay.
Perhaps you talk to her and start warning him how much trouble she'd get into
Yeah.
if she.
As I'm talking, I'm saying, he's talking because they sent him down here because he's the only one who knows how to clear this stuff. Then they give me the job. You show up late 2 times and you get the job to clean a virus out of a building. Wonderful. And you're gonna, if you breathe this stuff in, you're not gonna be here tomorrow. So I don't know what's gonna happen. And as he's doing this, he's projecting fear of him and fear of the situation into her mind.
Well, I will ask, are you projecting fear of you into her mind? Or I believe this allows you to charm someone as well. Or are you trying to get her to believe what you're saying?
Creature failing these saving throws, either charmed or frightened. Oh, I didn't catch the charmed. Yeah, so she's charmed. I want her to buy this.
Okay. I was like, I feel like that's what you're selling. So let me just check. Well, she rolled a big fat 3. So as she starts to look at Dathkar, her eyes glaze over as she actually starts to hear Ulrich just talking about, oh man, the toxic fumes. Oh man, if we don't take care of this, it's going to suck. That's important. Go ahead. And she steps to the side.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a nice day.
And Tibelis will...
Hope you see tomorrow. Hope I see tomorrow.
Dathkar.
Ulrich stole your dice rolls from you.
Sorry,
No,
buddy.
that's great. I like it. And Dathkar's not having to look at the guard as he walks by him. Or walks by her.
Nice.
Shoulder checks her.
So you are able to make it into base 6, and this is huge. This entire space station is massive. But you walk into the bay, and all of these are equipped to handle any size starship. The Hyperlance is a star cruiser. It's a fairly large vessel, but it probably only takes up a third of the space. And you see there are velvet ropes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And there's a couple of androids like setting them up and spacing them out because the Hyperlance is due to launch in just a couple days. And you see there is a group kind of talking and slowly walking around the ship. And there are 2 security guards standing kind of just at the nose of the ship, one on either side, just kind of looking around and holding an assault rifle with both hands.
Tibelis will look and say,
We need to get to the maintenance closet over there and pull out the decontamination cart they have there.
I was going to say, can you also connect to a port and maybe sound an alarm to sell this bit?
Well, we can see what's available within the access over that way.
Okay, cool.
And
Let's go.
Rhona's already walking over to the door.
Yep.
She heard you. Open the door. In the maintenance closet, you see an array of carts and cabinets and rolling cabinets and tools hanging on the walls and a computer system kind of set up, built into this cabinet system. Everything seems locked, so you have to log in and unlock and log out the tool that you want to use. But there is a computer sitting there. And there's a janitor's cart with a mop. Because even though it's outer space, you still got to clean stuff up, right?
Yep.
accidents happen.
So, Ulrich's gonna start moving stuff around and get it cleared past so that Tibelis can get in there, but he's gonna make a motion of trying to get this stuff in and out and find the things that are gonna make this bit most viable and look like they're here to clean up an issue. So he's looking for tools and equipment and carts that look like that, but he's also clearing a path that Tibelis can get to that terminal and maybe up the ante on this situation.
And I would say you don't need to clear a path. This is actually a well-organized, protocol-driven maintenance closet. So if you'd like to look around for specific tools, I'd call that definitely an investigation check.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say that
absolutely.
you have to actually clear a path. It's
Okay.
You won't be able to log anything out without him unlocking it.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Well, tell me what you're looking for before you get concerned about your roll.
Well, I was looking for any tools that look like they'd be used for chemicals, for biohazards. I'm looking for something with a big red biohazard sign on it. I'm looking for something that looks like a cleaning tool, maybe a mask in there that put over my face, things like that.
Okay, and what did you roll?
I rolled a 10.
All right. Well, you are looking in a very organized cabinet to see if there's a properly labeled biohazard cleanup set. And you can see that out of all these cabinets next to the computer system, they all have different labels. And there's one that's painted bright yellow, biohazard symbols on it. And you can see in the windows that it's essentially the suits from Monsters, Inc.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes. You can see the suit hanging in there. You can see there's multiple kind of spray containers that are going to have your biohazard cleanup, which is, fancy space kitty litter. And it's in a locked cabinet, but you did spot it. What about Dathkar and Tibelis?
Tuvelis will enter the cab or the closet there and begin to interface with the computer to unlock whatever needs to be unlocked. He's not worried about contamination himself, being that he's in a sealed suit, so I don't think he really needs, or that it really needs to be concerned with virus contamination, since it's self-sufficient and filters all its own inputs. And Deathcar will just be standing outside the closet, just off the side, with his back to the closet, facing outward like a security guard would be sitting there casually.
All right. I don't think Deathcar needs to make a roll, but I am going to need Tuvelis to make a computer check.
Computer check? That's a 23. Woo! 3 computer checks.
Ooh, nice. I keep increasing the DC, but doesn't matter because apparently you only roll 23s.
I'm just waiting for that, 6.
This computer knows his computers.
It'll happen.
Hi. Are you enjoying this episode? Well, if you are, could you take the time to tell a friend, leave a rating or review, and just spread the word about NatFun and all that we do. We'd really appreciate it. Now it's time to get back to our adventure. I wonder what happens next.
All right, so you are able to start typing on that computer, and the password was password with a 0 for the O.
Good Lord.
And you are able to very easily get into the entire maintenance operations. So it does only control this one bay. You don't get the entire system, the entire space station. But you can access pretty much everything in this bay. There's vacuum systems, there's different types of cleaner bots that you can call out. You can unlock any of the cabinets in the maintenance room. What do you want to do?
Tuvelis will unlock the cabinet that has caught Ulrich's eye. And it will turn to Rhona and...
Doors open.
And ask.
We could sound an alarm of a contamination alert here. I can scramble the additional service bots in the area, and we can create a hectic situation to slip through if you think that would work. Or would you prefer something a little quieter?
And as you're talking, she's grabbing the suit that Ulrich is handing her and sliding her legs into the biohazard suit and just nodding. Sounds good.
Stick with the plan.
So when once they're all suited up and ready to go, Tuvelis will active.
How's it feel, Dan? No.
Hey.
It's actually pretty good. It's your first flub.
Yeah.
I do it all the time, and I only control one character.
I'm just kidding. I had to say it. Sorry.
So Tuvelis will activate the alarm system in the hangar area, which will basically activate the lights and signage alerting the people to a contamination in the area, a localized contamination, and advise evacuation immediately in an orderly fashion. Do not push, do not shove. Help one another.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Sounds good. And as soon as that alarm turns on, what does Deathcar do to aid in this, to add to this situation? Because Deathcar didn't make a check, so he's got to respond to what's going on now.
What would Deathcar do in this situation? I guess he's gonna look surprised. He's gonna try to look surprised as everyone else, so he doesn't look like I'm the only one standing here. Like there's, he's gonna try to sell it. So it'll be some sort of performance, I guess.
Yeah, it's a performance or persuasion.
Let's go performance.
It'll be a fairly low DC because there is an alarm sounding, and it's VIPs and media, so they're gonna be panicking more so than like a security personnel would.
All right, so that is an 18.
Oh, crushed it. I set it at 10.
Jeez.
So
nice roll.
Deathcar is basically now looking around, trying to see if there are people in need, and he's going to start pointing towards the exit to get people going that other direction away from them. Yeah, waving them through.
And as you're pointing with that 18, the 2 security guards that were there also kind of see what Deathcar is doing and just join in and start trying to, yes, follow him, and yes, exit, don't push, don't shove, do exactly what the recording says, yes, and they start kind of like ushering all of the people out. And at that time, Rhona walks out in her suit and just starts walking towards the ship.
Tuvelis will follow I really thought he's like I almost had Tuvelis hand him a mop. Just...
That's a 7.
All right, it was a DC of 12, so roll a D4 for me, please.
Cool beans. Ah, boy. 3.
All right, so Ulrich, you are carrying all of these things and you're trying to act like you're hurrying to something, and it causes you to slip and tumble and trip, and you end up falling and landing on one of those tools, and your kneecap slams into it, and you take 3 points of damage.
Ow, mama.
And
Good.
Dathkar is going to see him fall over in his suit and just shake his head and pick him up by the back of the suit and put him right back on his feet and shove him forward to keep moving.
Nice.
Note, I do want to know that Ulrich has his satchel on the outside of his suit, just as a note in his tool belt and stuff.
We got a flashback for that.
Heard. Wrong game system.
Meh. Right
So-
rolls.
Everybody is running out of basics. You are able to make it to the ship. Rhona walks up, pulls the key card out, swipes it past the door. You watch as 5 green lights go across slowly. Boop, 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 boop. Door opens. Walk into the Hyperlance. Now you guys get a map.
Ooh,
Don't be scared.
our first map of the night.
Okay, close that thing behind us.
Everyone steps in. She swipes the card again. Boop, 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 boop. 5 lights turn red, and you hear, as each light turns, a sliding of metal on metal. Shkoosh, shkoosh, shkoosh. Okay,
Okay.
the door is secure.
Okay. We gotta find the bridge. And we gotta get the doors open.
On it.
And Tuvelis will head towards the front of the cruiser.
Yeah. And Ulrich's on his heels. Gonna look for that pilot's station and get engineering fired up.
Dathkar's going to head to a gunner's turret, just in case.
Oh, that's how we can open the doors, I guess.
And Rhona is following Tuvelis, trying to head towards the cockpit, and she hears Ulrich announce, "Oh, I gotta find engineering," as Dathkar's like, "I've got the guns." Dathkar, it's a civilian cruiser. There are no guns. This is a luxury vehicle. It's a fancy, what's that term from ancient times? A yacht. Those big ships that were fancy. It's a yacht.
In Dathkar's defense,
Yeah,
this picture seems to have turrets on it.
I know it does. And I actually reread the map just to check. There are not gunner stations on it, so I'm sorry.
All right.
But she looks at Ulrich and says, okay, engineering. It should be centrally located just underneath the metal grading system.
Okay.
Head down one of the elevators.
Okay. You head up there with him.
And she jogs to catch up with Tuvelis.
Get the thing started and I'll come up and fly it. I gotta get it fired up. So yeah, he's gonna go down to engineering. Which side of the ship? I don't know port and starboard, but port left.
Port is
4
left because
letters.
it's less letters. It's 4 letters like the word left.
Yeah, so we came
Someone
from the
really
left
smart
side.
taught me that recently.
Yeah. I just
And sent me a
remembered
picture in Discord to remind me.
that.
Don't worry, I'll forget it in real life when I need it.
Ulrich, knowing ships and things like that, he's looking for the walls to be marked with, wayfinding and stuff that's more subtle, especially since it's a civilian ship, but he's looking for that engineering red stripe to get him there. And he's going to follow that down the hall.
All right, so you see that there are 2 lifts kind of. I will describe the ship a little more because we have a
that's good.
picture, but not
Yeah,
everybody
nobody
does.
else.
So you step into the ship and you see metallic hallways. They're a good 15 feet across. I think very much this is like a cruise ship in real life of a starship. This is for people to walk around, have drinks, entertain, go from point A to point B. But you do see that there are, just like you said, those colored lines. And they're not super noticeable, but they are just to the edge of these hallways. There is a blue line which indicates the bridge. There's a yellow line that indicates kind of I would say yellow would be for security. There's a red line that indicates engineering, and the red line goes through, from what you guys can see, there's this little red hatch kind of just inside from where you entered. And as you look through the window, you see a metal grate system. And you can see this is a multi-storied space of the ship. For those that are heading towards the bridge, as you turn left to go down this kind of metallic hallway, you pass by what looks like a crew's quarters room. There's kind of a table, a little galley area. There's a couple of board games, and it does say, crew only. You notice a large bathroom wing on your right, and you see the bridge. It's got a huge sign lit up, very showy and flashy. And Dathkar is kind of walking and walking and walking and goes in this full loop, and he passes the port side of the ship, the crew quarters, the bridge, the bathrooms, the bar, a hallway that leads to the rooms that the civilians would stay in, an entertainment area, a viewing window, back to the port side entrance, back to the crew quarters, back to the bridge, no gunner area.
Not even a damn armory on this ship.
I can use a hand.
You just hear angry footsteps all up and down hallways.
Clomp, 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 clomp.
Yeah, Dathkar will go over towards where Ulrich is at that point. I mean, after he's done doing his rotation, so Ulrich will be on his own for a few minutes there.
Yeah.
All right, so Ulrich, you make it down to engineering first. I'm going to throw this one at you to describe because we don't have a picture of exactly what it looks like, but you are a pilot. You have run ships before and engineering departments before, engineering crews before. So what does the space look like? What are you looking for specifically to kind of log into?
Yeah, he's looking for kind of a main terminal. It's going to be centralized. It's going to be a dumbed down version of a little bit of everything. This thing's in cold mode. It's in idle, and he needs to get things powered up as quickly as possible. So he's looking for that command terminal. He's going to look down at the engines, which are below him. You can see the cores for the engines down below him and a few other maintenance items and coolant systems and all that. And all the other stuff that runs the ship is powered by this. So he's looking for that. But he enters the space and there's terminals left and right. There's maintenance stations. There's tools. But then there's a centralized terminal in kind of the middle area that has a good view of the engine, and then it has a screen that kind of is like a mock-up of the captain's terminal to show what's going on up there as well. And he's going to look at the controls and see if he can figure out how to bring this thing out of sleep and into idle and hot mode as quickly as possible.
All right, and we are going to pan quickly over to Tivelis and Rhona. As you step into the cockpit, it's a fairly narrow space. There are some kind of VIP seats, little jumper seats on the left, 4 little seats people can sit in, and then you have your 2 engineering seats, you have your 2 navigation seats, and then your 2 pilot seats towards the front that overlook the window kind of at the pointed front of this ship. Tivelis, where do you head first?
Tivelis will head to, I guess, the engineering seat to begin the ignition protocols to basically aid in any way that Ulrich will need to get this thing going.
Okay. As you sit down, you see that the ship is indeed in cold mode. It is not completely fired up. It's in a completely idle mode at this point. And you see some of the instructions for the startup because it's kind of in also like they've been touring the ship, so it has like all these little extra signs and flashy holograms that are like, this is where the engineer sits. They're responsible for blah 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 blah. So you see like a very basic tutorial, and it does instruct you that engineering must restore full power to the engines and activate the star drive before the main cockpit area can be fully turned on.
All right. Is this a voice-activated computer, or do I need to interface with it? How futuristic is it?
Stick it in.
I think that, well, right now the cockpit doesn't have a lot of power, so
I love it. No,
Rhona walks over, kind of leans over your shoulder. Can you turn it on?
Certainly, it's a computer like any other.
And Tivelis will begin to, I guess, use its hands at this point to, just, as a human or any other person would. They don't need to necessarily plug into this computer to turn it on, so it will go through the protocols and begin to flip switches and type in the commands and get this thing fired up.
And Rhona will kind of lean over. What do we need to do to get it started? And she kind of looks around nervously.
We need to restore power to engineering at the rear and get everything warmed up in here. So I think I can handle most of that on my own. I'll let you know if I need your hand.
And just go back to concentrating on reading all the different lines of commands as they're scrolling across the screen in front of it, and just following each prompt.
And she's going to lean over you uncomfortably close. And she's going to push a button. And she's going to say, "Tell me that again."
Could you not hear me? Is it because of the suit?
We just need to restore power to the...
And you hear your voice echo through the entire ship as she has activated the intercom. I love how nervous I make you guys sometimes. It's really fun.
Well, then I have to start thinking
hears
about
the voice and goes, "Oh,
what's the consequence of this? My next statement."
I knew where she was going.
So your voice echoes through the space. Dathkar and Ulrich can hear your words.
Tuvelis will.
I know, I'm working on it.
Tuvelis will quickly just slam its hand down on it and actually inadvertently kick on the soundtrack. Maybe Hooked on a Feeling.
Institute 80s montage while Ulrich tries to fire this beast up.
Yeah, so...
All right, so let's get a mechanics check from Ulrich, and let's get a computers check from Tuvelis.
All right.
Sure this wouldn't be astrophysics? Just throwing it out there.
Nope, it's actually written in the module, so it's going to be mechanics for the engineering department. Thank you very much.
Cool beans. That was an 8, and I'm going to burn my inspiration without even checking, because I feel like 12 is much better than 8 for this particular process.
Sounds good. What about Tuvelis?
Tuvelis rolls a 6. That's a nat 1.
What do electrical burns feel like?
Yeah, lucky for Tuvelis, this was just that the engineering needed to be turned on first. So, Ulrich, you start to pull all the release levers, you start to activate the switches and the system protocols, and then Dathkar walks in and starts just like randomly pushing a couple buttons here and there. Tuvelis is feverishly typing in all the command prompts to get everything going, and you have to kind of talk to Dathkar and tell him, like, knock it off. So what do you do to get him to stop messing with the system?
Dude, don't, no. You're undoing what I'm doing. Hey, I swear I saw a cabinet marked security personnel. I guarantee there's a rifle in there somewhere. Can you find that and then come back here and lift things if I need you to flip a breaker or something?
I don't need a rifle. And just keep meandering around, looking at things here. Let me know if you need something that...
Can you lift that crate?
I was like, let me know.
Move it from the left port to starboard. We need ballast.
All right, I guess Dathkar will listen. He sounded like you really need that crate moved. So sure.
All right, Dan, can you roll a d4 for me, please?
That's a 1. Get my 1s out of the way.
That's good. So as Tuvelis is typing in all the command prompts, Tuvelis leans in a little bit close and actually touches a loose cable from its leg against some of the cables that have not been put into their little cable organizing system yet. They're doing the final cleanup beautification things on the ship. Just as Ulrich flips the last lever to activate engineering fully, power the engines, activate the star drive, fully power the ship, and he gets a static shock and takes 1 point of damage.
You jerk.
Makes a R2-D2 scream sound as he gets zapped.
Nicely done.
Yes, not bad.
I may have practiced it.
We'll put a pin in this one. That'll be a warm-up question another time.
You hear the hum of the engines, which, compared to the last few ships that you have been on, are almost inaudible. This is luxury compared to the crap that you guys have been flying on.
My teeth aren't even chattering.
You are able to input all the command prompts, start to set your destination, balance the ship. Ulrich is running back and forth in engineering, keeping everything level, checking on fuel levels. Everything is completely primed and ready to go with this vessel. Dathkar moves all the boxes over to the right, and then Ulrich tells him, no, not that one, and he moves them all back over to the left. Rhona sits down in the captain's chair and starts plugging in the computer prompts to get the ship actually moving, and you are all able to coordinate. The ship lifts, the gates open. Rhona takes the key card, inserts it into the computer station she's sitting at. It gets completely taken into the main panel, and a litany of lights flash all about the controls of the experimental cruiser. The multicolored panels project a stream of three-dimensional augmented reality displays, while a computerized voice emits from the room speakers. It says,
"Systems online. Navigation suite activated. Full function protocols initiated."
The maneuvering thrusters kick on, tearing the ship away from the visitor's platform, sending any of the backpacks and cameras that were left by the media scattering out into space. The internal sensors give you the green light to pass through the space dock's energy shield into the deep expanse. And let's see, so right now Ulrich and Dathkar are in engineering still, correct? Are you staying there?
Yep.
No, my plan is to actually tell Dathkar, come over here, and when we radio to you, push this lever forward. Don't do anything else till then, knowing that that's to activate the hyperdrive if we need it. And he's going to run up to the cabin to see if he can help get this thing moving. He knows some pathways and some routes inherently, and he knows that there's going to be somebody coming for him. So.
Okay. What about Dathkar?
No, Dathkar's going to follow directions. He's got a lever to push. He's going to push that lever.
There's no guns.
There's no guns. You will murder them with speed. How's that, buddy?
Ram them, you say?
Nope.
As Ulrich steps into the cockpit, where do you want to sit?
I think he's going to move up next to Tuvelis and slide into a pilot seat. Was Tuvelis in pilot seat or an engineering seat?
Engineering.
I just remember.
He was sitting in engineering, so the pilot seat's
Okay.
open. I guess, is Rhona in the pilot seat?
There's two up at the front. There's a pilot and a co-pilot.
Yeah, so he's going to slide in next to Rhona. He's already been stripping off that suit. He throws his bag on the floor next to him, and he takes the controls and he goes, "Do you mind? Just in case we get sticky. I've had to dodge some pirates in my day."
And as you're talking, she kind of nods hastily. That's fine. And she looks almost confused but intrigued as Rhona and Tuvelis notice a collection of strange symbols appearing on many of the side panel displays. Can I get a computer's check from Tuvelis?
The first one. Come on, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
25! A nat 20!
Nice.
From a nat 1 to a
Nailed
nat
it.
20. Yeah.
Tuvelis is really good at computers, guys.
Yeah,
You didn't
he's
know.
super good at computers.
So, Tuvelis, you look around and you see these symbols. At first, they seem like kind of standard code that's popping out of these displays for some reason, but then in the middle of each of them, one little piece continues to burn brighter for some reason than the rest. And you recognize this as a unique code, like nothing you've ever seen before. How old are you?
Ooh, do I have that? Oh, he's pushing, I think. Hold on. I want to say Tuvelis is somewhere around 200 years old. That's about the limit for its lifespan, so hence its fear of death.
In your near 200 years of life, you have never seen code like this before. It's broken. It's not complete. But this must be the code that Rhona's talking about, and she sees it too.
Would Tuvelis be able to absorb or download this code?
Oh, God.
Copy it in any way?
Ooh. With a nat 20, I would say you are able to start to try to download it. But after just a few moments from when this code illuminated, the hull of the ship shakes in simultaneous response with the ship's alert sensors going haywire.
Warning! Warning! Enemy approaching! Enemy attack incoming! Incoming!
The computer sounds off as multiple foreign signatures appear on the sensor panel, seemingly from nowhere. I'm going to drag you guys to another map. It's a space map! So you have made it away from the Peltiveria space station. Now, I showed you, when we started this adventure, a large picture of the full galaxy. If you pull that up, you can see where Peltiveria is in relation to the rift. There are 2 rifts in this galaxy that take you essentially across the black hole that is the center of this entire galaxy very quickly. Stargate style. But you're not there yet. And the sensors show there are 4 ships that boop, 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 popped out of hyperspace. Very close to you. I will even say closer than this map shows. Pew! Right on your 6. As I change the music. More dramatic. What are you guys doing?
Oh,
Alarms. You see the radar. You see red lights flashing throughout the entire cockpit.
Dathkar is gonna
Any
be
chance we missed the guns?
banging on the walls, just like stupid ship without any weapons, worthless.
Throw a refrigerator at them or something. Well, I think we're gonna have to throttle up and try to make it to the rift. And maybe some evasive maneuvers. And look for some weapons.
Chavelis will pipe up a
Speed. We need to move as fast as quick. The longer we're here, the more chance they'll have to attack us.
Drive was at 90% when we left. We should have a good burst on this thing. So, I would like to... I suppose we use vehicle rules here? Do I just say I would like to... what's the darn term?
Yeah, so let's just... I just want us to kind of just take individual actions here.
Okay.
So...
Yes, there it is.
So we've got
I had it right.
pilot, technician, and gunner. I will say that Dathkar, because there aren't actually guns on this ship, can fill a technician role if he so chooses. Rhona is a pilot. I think that Alric said you wanted to be a pilot, and
Yeah.
Tavelis was in a technician spot.
Yeah, it'll be technician then. I'll move into technician.
Okay.
Okay.
So for ease, I am going to break the rules a little bit and narratively describe what the other ships are doing rather than rolling a bunch of dice.
Okay.
Okay? So, let's pop your tokens on the map and roll for initiative so we know who goes in which order.
What's weird? That seems about appropriate.
Hey, it actually put us in order already. So, Rhona rolled a 23.
Dathkar rolled a 18 and Tuvelis rolled a 13.
Yeah, Ulrich got a mighty 7.
Nice. So, Rhona's going to go first. So, I'm going to break the rules with this a bit, and I would like us to narratively describe what we're doing. And then I will call out the checks that I'm going to ask for to see how this plays out as we try and make it to that rift.
Sounds cool.
Cool.
Okay? So, Rhona's going to go first. She is going to just try and do a evaluation of what has just come upon you guys. So, I'm just going to have her make a perception check. So, she rolls a 14. So she can quickly see that it looks like there are 3 raider ships and something bigger. She can't quite tell what it is, but she seems very concerned. We have to get out of here. They can follow us through the rift. This is not good. Dathkar, you're down in engineering. What do you want to do?
I mean, was the engineering? I assume engineering was alerted with an alarm that something's happening.
Oh, red lights
Okay.
everywhere. You heard the same warning as everyone
Okay,
else.
good.
Enemies incoming. Enemies incoming.
Oh, that's right, because Dathkar is furious that there's no guns on the ship. Oh man, he is. I had a moment where I thought Dathkar could strap on a spacesuit and go outside a hatch here. We won't go that route. But
Hey, you've got an intercom. You can yell and see what the ship has. Rhona kind of knows the layout of the ship.
it just seems like a poor choice to do in space.
It's an awesome choice. I'm all about this.
No, just because he has no ranged attacks or anything. So anyway, I think at that point Dathkar is going to be looking about anything to increase power. So he's going to be looking at where the engine bay is there, and it's got its power gauge, and there's a limiter on it. And Dathkar is going to try to basically bypass it physically, just shoving that switch through. There are multiple safeties in the way, and he's just going to start ripping those out of the way so he can overpower this thing and see if he can't get them some more power up front. He's not an engineer. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing, but he's like, more power is never a bad thing. So, yeah.
All right, so I was going to have the DC be 12 because you described exactly how he is disabling this built-in safeties. Let's have you do a mechanics check, and I will tell you the DC is 10 that you're aiming for.
Nice. He's got a -1 with mechanics, so that's a 13. All right. Take it.
Nice. So you are able to rip the safeties out, use that lever, push it all the way forward, and you see the power gauge go up. You also watch as some temperature gauges get a little bit angry to the side, but you don't really know what they do.
The Death Car will just talk on the radio head. You got more power. Do something with it.
And we are now at Tivelis.
Tivelis will first increase the shielding on the ship. If we can do anything to increase the rear shields, deflector shields, that the first passes that come around, that'll buy us time, and hopefully we can make it out here before their second pass. So Tivelis will begin to work out with the computer systems. He's heard there's new power, there's more power here, and he's going to reroute it directly into the reroute like half of it into the deflector shields in any way to help protect the ship.
Okay, sounds good. The DC is going to be a little bit higher than Death Cars because it is a vacation cruiser, so it's not really built to have significant shields. The shields for space weather, like maybe if you got some asteroids nearby. But let's do a computers check. Let's see if you get your 6.
23! Man,
Lord.
number of the night.
What is going on with roll 20?
18, man. That's amazing.
As you start to hack into the computer system, because originally you start to put in the code prompts to activate the deflector shields, and it just keeps flashing none, no power, no security, no shields, and you start hacking it, and you are able to find, of course, there's some shields. You have to, mess with these gravity dampeners. You can hear the beds you wouldn't hear that. You can see in the camera displays next to your engineering seat, there are cameras to kind of what would be the guest areas, and you can see that you've turned off gravity to the bar as the tables and chairs are floating and hitting the ceiling, but you were able to reroute that power to create a quasi-deflector shield on the back of the ship.
Sweet.
All right, Ulrich, what are you doing? You're in a pilot's chair.
Yes, I'm in a pilot's chair. I'm going to take that extra power and use it while we've got it, and I've got a plan for my next round that's going to make us go slow, but he's going to try to accelerate and start to bank if he can find any places that are going to be a little harder, if there's any debris fields or any asteroids or other incoming ships, to kind of create any sense of that he's going to maneuver through and slow these guys down.
All right, let's do a mechanics check.
Kill some civilians on an innocent passing by ship here, huh?
Mechanics? Where's my navigation and...
Oh, no. We gotta go. I really hope people watch down Periscope. Otherwise, there are a lot of jokes throughout the last few adventures that just don't make sense.
That's an 8.
All right,
debris.
you go to hit the throttle, push it up to give it more juice. Dathkar said there was more power, but unfortunately, Tivelis, by rerouting the gravity systems, drew a significant portion of that power to activate the deflector shields on the rear of the ship.
Cool.
So, you see on the radar, these small ships are fast. 2 go to the port side of the ship, which is the left. 4 letters, left, port, that side of the ship. And you can actually see one of them has caught up with the windows that you can see in the cockpit. On the starboard side, you can't quite see a ship in that window, but the radar shows that it's coming up really quick around the corner. The other one hangs back a little bit, and you start to see some more lights. The red lights that were just flashing are now illuminating much faster. But you don't get any alerts yet. Rhona, back at the top of the turn order, she looks at the radar. She looks at the rift. She stands up out of her chair. She goes over to Tivelis. We can't outrun them. Tivelis. And she puts her hand on your shoulder and leans, I will say, uncomfortably close again. Help me, Tivelis. You're my only hope. This cruiser was not designed for combat. If they make it through the rift, they will follow us. They will board this ship. These are military vehicles. We don't stand a chance. You asked if an android could carry the code.
Are you asking me to carry the code?
I have an idea.
Anything that gets us through this.
I think you might be the only one that'll get through this. And she leans down and hits her hand on the intercom, which I know this is taking a lot of time, so I'm going to say that was her free action. This is her full action to announce this over the intercom. The Hyperlance is a luxury cruiser. We don't stand a chance. No matter how fast we go, they're going to follow us through the rift. How dedicated are you to this cause? If Tevelis launches in a maintenance ship, he won't be noticed. He can make it through the rift. We can stay behind, draw their attention. Tevelis can take the code off the ship.
I like that idea.
I'm not a big fan, but I've got an idea. Let's do it.
Dathkar.
Maybe we can survive.
Dathkar is screaming, "Yes, let them board us!"
Do you want something with some guns, Dathkar? They're security ships. They have guns.
Yeah.
Let's light them up. And she runs back over to the pilot seat, jumps into it, grabs the controls, and looks at Ulrich and waits to hear Dathkar's response.
Dathkar is a little giddy at hearing that, even very chipper sounding. Finally have that as op. So, yeah, he's just, yes, put me in the seat. Let's do this. So, does he get directions where to go, or where does this go?
I've got you covered
Okay.
in just a second. I just want to hear what Ulrich wants to do.
Okay.
Ulrich's already working on a plan. He's tapping away on the terminal, and he's working on a distraction to potentially give them some defensive capabilities and let everybody scatter and potentially damage some of these other ships. So he's working on something. He's going to yell over at Tuvelis in a minute.
Okay. She's going to see that you're feverishly working, and she's going to look at you and just say, do you want to stay with the Hyperlance? Block their line of sight. I'll take one of the security ships.
Okay, stay away from behind me.
Heard. And she kind of runs over towards Tevelis, and I will have to ask, because I want to respect the way that initiative works. I think she has very much abused the full limits of her action. If Tevelis wants to gain any more instruction, he might need to use his action to hear the rest of the instructions. Because that ends Rhona's turn. Dathkar.
Oh, Dathkar. So Dathkar is going to be running towards, I assume he got instructions to where the maintenance ships are?
Oh, yeah. So there's all those painted lines on the floor. There's the red, the yellow. Blue is illuminating now because Rhona hit a little string of code, and it actually is lighting up, and it says security ships. Flash, flash, flash all over the floor. Dathkar knows exactly where to go.
Yeah, Dathkar is running at full tilt towards those ships. He is very enthusiastic for what's about to happen.
Now, what I will say that because the Hyperlance, it's a cruiser, but it's not a huge ship. You'd be able to get to the security ship. You just won't be able to quite launch with it this round. Would you like to describe what they look like?
Well, Dathkar's a little annoyed that he missed it the first round when he was stomping all over the ship.
Well, these aren't like fighter ships or giant gunners. These are the security ships that would escort the drunk civilians from one port to the other. So they have some guns, but this is not a warship by any means.
Well, still, he was looking for guns, and I think the nondescript door and this little shuttle thing was pretty mediocre. I'm thinking of like the shuttle in Star Trek. This is a little space shuttle thing that's just small, and it's transit. It's as boring as it comes. It's like a small bus or like a van. It's just very bland looking.
Cargo van.
But it's got, a single, gun at the front, a turret on it, and that's about it. It's not fast. It's not sexy. It's very utilitarian. And
Just like Death Guard.
it's a last resort. It's really, like you said, it's more for security. It's like the rent-a-cop car instead of a real cop car.
You see a badge sitting on like the little teeny tiny table. It says Paul Blart on it. And you're like, who's that guy?
Oh, God.
So Death Car is able to make it to the security ship. There's really no security to activate it. You go in, it's a shuttle. So you go in, it powers up, and you are able to undock from the Hyperlance. But you're not able to act quite yet. We are now at Tivelis, up in the cockpit.
So yeah, to Velis, we'll look at Rhona and basically say,
Give me the code, and where do I go?
And she looks at you, she says, download the code. I know you saw it too. Take a maintenance ship through the rift. If we can create enough of a distraction, you won't be picked up by the scanners. They'll think that they've won, they'll board the ship, and the code won't be here. As soon as you get through the rift, go to Pel Taros. It's a small planet, and seek out Agent Benjamin of the Silrain Defense Force. When they question you, don't reveal too much. We don't know how far their informants have spread. Just tell them that Operation Cipher has been compromised. Then give them this, and she grabs her wrist data pad and hands it to you. Say nothing else.
Understood.
and Tuvelis will finish. We'll sit there basically downloading or uploading the code to himself. Downloading the code to himself. Or we'll download the code to itself, and once complete, head towards the shuttle. Now, I don't know how long that will take, so I don't know if there's one action or two to do that, but you can let us know, Jan.
I would say action to download, which since you already described you were starting it, I would have had you make a roll, but since you already were like, Tavelis is going to start downloading this right now, I will say that because you already started, you finish it in your action, and you can use your movement to make it to the maintenance ship, which I really want it to look like the maintenance ships in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just all I can see in my head.
Perfectly fine.
But you can describe
Indestructible
it as you
bubbles.
wish.
Say, this maintenance ship is actually quite nice. It's very luxurious. It's the opposite of the ship that Datkar's on right now. Yeah. Again, it'll be a pretty nondescript ship. It's got a robotic arm on it so that it can reach out and grab anything it needs repaired. It has a few tools, attachments on that arm as well. But it's, again, not speedy. It doesn't need to go very far, very fast, so it's going to be kind of just puttering its way away from the ship when it does leave. It's going to almost be like trash floating through space.
Nice. All right, so we are now at Ulrich.
Nobody's going to want this thing when I'm done with it. And he starts feverishly clicking away. And he's going to start to prepare to steer the ship in a S pattern. To the starting left, and then right, and then back to the left. Kind of weaving around these ships a little bit that are swarming. And he's prepared something, but he is mentally thinking to Slick, Tavelis got up. I need you to go push that switch on the engineering console to execute this mess. And what he wants to do is vent sorium from the engines behind him, hoping that when that ship that's behind him fires, it ignites it all.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And he's trying to weave it around all the other ships that he can.
Okay, what check do you think that should be?
I'm probably thinking
Mechanics?
this is a little bit of... I was gonna go with astrophysics, but yeah, it could be mechanics, because this is about flight and chemicals. What else do I have?
Okay, we can do astrophysics. Go for it.
He's been wanting that one all night.
I know, that's why I'm saying yes.
It's a 14.
Just made it.
Okay.
DC was 14.
Slick's still gotta act, but Slick acts on his own initiative, but he hasn't rolled initiative, but I would figure he would just go after my turn.
Well, and I would also say pushing a button is simple. If you were having him like activate a bunch of code, he would
Nope.
have to make a roll.
It's the big button that says don't press.
Yeah, if you're just telling him to go push a simple button, I don't think that requires a roll.
Okay.
So go ahead and describe what happens, because this is the end of the turn order. The pursuing ships would be acting next. So
Yes.
paint me a picture.
So what he's been doing is using that overheating engine system to push buildup into a vent port that's a safety feature, and he's started to vent it out the back of the ship as fast as he can. He knows he's probably going to lose power after this, or at least be minimal power, and he's trying to dump it all over the ship that's got weapons locked, and he's weaving the ship around the other ones, venting this cloud of material around them, hoping when one of them fires, they all go up in a fireball, and he's trying to then get away from it as fast as he can.
Nice. So the ship following behind is actually a bomber. And as you're S-arcing the Hyperlance back and forth, you see the smaller ships adjusting their flight patterns to stay in sync, to see what you're doing. And the bomber actually does open up the front port, and you see this energy ball glow and shoot towards the Hyperlance, and it makes it halfway there and then ignites. And you see some panels fly off of that bomber. Now, it is still following, but it did fall back significantly.
Also, I was hoping this big flash is going to give Tuvelis time to kind of dodge the situation. It was
I
a
love
distraction. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do a hand-on-head moment.
Yeah.
I want to throw something at you guys. This is part of a series of modules, and thinking back to some of our past adventures here at NatFun, I really loved the way that the players drove the narrative in Hellstruck's demise. You guys ended that adventure. This sounds like a very poignant moment in this adventure. How would you like to narrate what happens? We don't have to do dice rolls. You guys can totally decide what's going to happen right now. Would you like that torch, or would you like to try something else?
I think a narration with a fun ending.
I'm all for that. We don't have to go turn-by-turn combat. I think wrapping up in a way that's kind of...
just describe something and let it be.
Cinematic even could be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, we have Dathkar and Rhona just making it to the security ships. We have Tuvelis having downloaded the Great Code, making it to the maintenance ship, and Ulrich creating a power overload that ignited the bomb that was sent directly at the Hyperlance, creating a blinding light, disorienting all the ships that are following them. What happens next for the Cyberlancers?
Ulrich's gonna wait for everybody to get off the ship before he makes the next big move to help them be...
Are we going in turn order, or is this just a free-for-all?
I think it's just a free-for-all.
Yeah.
I just think this is a really cool narrative moment, and I would love to hear what you think your characters would do.
All right, well, he'd have waited a minute before he knew that Ulrich was going, he had a plan going. So when that bomber behind them made its move and fired its shot there and just it blew back on it and everything, Dathkar would go ahead and just gun it and go straight into that. He's going to ram right into that ship and try to take it out. He's not going to go down in a luxury shuttle. He's going to take the fight back to them. And whether or not he survives, the shuttle survives, that's for a roll to decide that we're not going to make.
It will pry the other ship out of his cold, dead corpse.
With that blinding light, Rhona launches the other security ship off the port side and sees those smaller raider ships start to veer off course. And it's just that one gun in the front. She opens fire on the closest ship and tries to cut them in half before they can even know what hit them. All right, Ulrich, you're up.
Ulrich is Tuvelis gotten away as well at this point?
He is not. I'm a little split on how Tuvelis will act on this.
Ulrich's gonna punch the intercom and say, Tuvelis, launch it, go straight for the portal. I'm gonna cover your escape.
Ooh, Dan's thinking really hard. Dan looks like he needs to roll some dice to help him make a decision.
Goblin away.
Oh man, I am so split right now. Part of me wants him to launch a ship and stay aboard the ship. If I'm gonna voice my opinions
God,
on
no.
it. And stow away again because they're looking for another ship. And I feel like
God.
he had success with that previously.
You do what you think Tavelis would do, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Matt's going to destroy the ship. So.
No, you don't know. You don't know at all what Ulrich is going to do, and I don't know what Tuvelis is going to do. This could be fun. I like it. I'm hoping the ship will survive. I want this heat.
Yeah, it'll be captured. All right, I guess Tuvelis will realize no matter what, the ship is going to be recalled, and they're going to go over every inch of it, so it doesn't make sense. He's going to run for it. I had to decide what logical mind.
He did that calculation in a microsecond.
Yes. As he goes to leave, he will eject everything. He'll interface with the computer system on the ship and just dump every bit of extra can. The cargo bay, anything that can be ejected, he plans to override and have the ship eject. So there's a field of debris.
Nice.
And he'll get into the ship and just let it float away. He's not going to turn it on. He will sit there until this scene at least passes by a few hours, and then once it's calmed down a bit, head towards the rift. Or even potentially not head towards the rift. I'm just saying, they're expecting him to go towards the rift.
Yep.
I don't have the map in front of me. I should look at where he would head to. Sorry, I'm dragging
It's just up, back and to the left.
Yeah. Where's the galaxy?
So we are by the Keshite Rift on the left side by Peltiveria.
Oh,
and on the right side, across from the black hole that is the center of the galaxy, is the Iridae Rift. And it's right next to a very small planet, Pelsaros.
Yeah, there's just nothing else around us. So this little shuttle's not make it anywhere else if it doesn't go through the rift. So fine, he will go through the rift. I'm sorry for dragging that out. I'm gonna be realistic.
You're
This little
fine.
shuttle won't make it very far without the assistance of a rift. So yes, let me try to get all the thoughts together. Tuvelis will, as he gets into the maintenance shuttle, will interface with it and basically force the Hyperlance to eject everything that it's possible. Every bit of cargo, anything it can. Panels that it doesn't need, every option. There's a parachute that comes out of the thing, but just so there's a field of debris behind it. And at that point, it'll release the shuttle and just to float along with the debris before finally making its way into the Keshite Rift. Hopefully.
All right.
Sorry.
You're
No,
good.
it's all good.
This is a total, I'm flipping the switch. Like, we're not doing rolls to finish it. I just thought it would be really fun to let you guys just have total narrative power over what you
I
do.
get in my head about all the options.
I know, there's so many.
Well, and you did all
All
that
right.
in a calculation in a microsecond.
Yeah.
You're fine. You went through the scenarios.
Ulrich, you see on the sensors, security ship launches full power straight through that burst of light that was created behind the Hyperlance. Second one launches out the port side directly towards the raider to your left that you can see outside your window. And you see debris floating everywhere as everything that could have been ejected from the ship is. You're surrounded by an asteroid field of crap from the Hyperlance. What does Ulrich do?
Ulrich's going to go with his plan. He looks at Slick and says, well, at least you'll survive. And he banks the ship. He shuts down the left engine and powers up the right. And he literally banks the ship into the fighter to his left. And hoping that there's still debris shooting out, he's going to paint the back of the ship. There's two fighters to his left, one to his right, and then the bomber behind him. He knows Dathkar took the one out in the back, hopefully. And the one on the left in front of them has been damaged a little by Rhona. He's hoping she can help on the one on the right. And he's going to just try to slam into these two ships and shoot debris at the other one. And he's just going to do the full back to the bike race and just start sideswiping stuff. And hope this ship survives so we can limp it out of here. But if it doesn't, he's hoping he's given enough of a action that Tuvelis will get away. And he's leading them now away from the rift.
Nice.
I love it. Can I get a quick intelligence check from everyone?
Check. Just straight up check.
Let's see. Can I get a... Do you have a lore option?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a lore check from everyone?
Oh, God. Why? Why? Well, I don't
So
know
what
nothing
did you
about
roll?
nothing. I rolled a 5. I have an intelligence of 3. And, yeah, so, no, 2. 3? That's weird, actually.
Dathkar rolls a 9. And
Okay.
Tuvelis rolls an 8 with an intelligence of 5.
Wow,
Holy
we're done with
crap.
hammer handles, man.
Things are happening so fast. You all notice an emblem, black on these ships, but you can't quite catch exactly what it is. Someone is behind all of this, and it's not what you saw on the corporate suits of the Zephyr Corporation. It's not what you saw on the Omega Fist Gang. There's someone bigger involved here. But as things start to play out, time speeds up. Tuvelis makes it through the rift. What does Tuvelis see as the ship enters the rift? What does it look like as you make this jump?
I think everything basically is, as you enter it, it's almost like time slows down. Things get really bright, and then it'll suddenly just is darkness and stillness. And then as you pull through the other side of the rift, it'll be like everything just sped up and caught up. So like a momentary pause.
As you enter the rift, things start to speed up and warp and swirl around you. You feel like you're moving faster. And that's where we're ending our adventure of Cipher Syndicate. Does Tuvelis make it through?
Yes.
Does it not?
No.
Do Dathkar, Ulrich, and Rhona survive?
Dathkar
Is
does.
the
Hell
ship
yes.
boarded? What happens?
Let them board it. Touch me.
You'll never know.
See what happens.
Because the adventure ends here.
And we all rolled so bad on our lore, we don't even know who the people were
Oh,
behind
that
it.
was terrible.
No,
I've
and
got
I
a
gave you
plus
3
3 to lore.
chances to roll a 12.
To roll it.
3 chances to roll a 12.
And 2 of us
It's
have,
one of my best stats.
Yeah. 2 of us have great stats on that. Well,
It didn't roll it right.
That's why I
but-
thought it would be fine.
Yeah.
that's your fault for
Should've
having
gone with
faith
the,
in us.
Yeah.
I know.
You know when it counts, we don't roll well. Come on now.
So this was a bit of a difference for us, but what did you think about just narratively ending rather than doing a bunch of rolls? Because I always am curious as a player. Sometimes I feel like the dice rolls kind of steal away what my goal was. Like, yes, it tells the story, but sometimes at the ending of an adventure, it's really crappy if it's like, you know, as you're walking away from the big bad, you get a performance check to click your heels and you fall in the mud. Like, doesn't
This
quite
guy.
work. So what did you guys think about having a narrative twist and a narrative end?
I liked it. Although there was probably like a 5-minute cutting room floor where I'm just flip-flabbing all over about what the options are. So, you know.
That was what was going through Tuvelis' head in a moment.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what you could do, Jackie, is
I
It's
threw
extra.
a wild card at you
speed
guys.
that, compress
so
it down to like 5 seconds. And just
That'd
have
be
it-
awesome.
I got
That'd
you.
be awesome. I love it. I struggle with it, but I love that we got to leave it open-ended. We didn't say that we didn't fail, and we didn't say we didn't win. You know, we just kind of left it there. Maybe they got out of it, maybe they didn't, and then there's more adventure to be had. I think that's a pretty cool way to go out, and, you know, they are not big damn heroes. At least my Ulrich isn't. So, but at the wheel of a ship with friends, that was pretty cool. That was a good ending
It's
for him.
an unusual ending because normally we have like closure or success, and like this
Yeah.
one can be either way, which is kind of with
Yeah, and I like
what we've
that
been
it
doing.
could be either way. It's not definitive. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
and
like
it,
that.
it leaves it open for us to come back and revisit it too.
Yeah.
And it also is a slightly different ending. I always, whenever we're doing something that has set mechanics or a set story like a module or other things, I like to kind of twist it a little bit. So if someone were to do this exact same Crisis at Peltiveria from Skydon Game Studios, it's not going to be exactly the same. We did do things a little bit different here and there. So we also, with keeping to our short adventure format, means that we sometimes do not play through the full scope of things because, you know, that would be a whole campaign. There are other podcasts that do that. But I just wanted to see what you guys thought and just kind of just throw a little twist on it.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you're both huge Star Wars fans, nerds fans, What did you think about the "Help me, Tavelis, you're my only hope"?
Terrible.
When you first uttered like "help," I knew where it was going. You leaned in. You were about to. I was like, I got it.
It really helped that Rhona wasn't wearing a bra.
I'm pretty sure I sent you that in Discord or something at some point in time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was before session 0, and you were talking about Tavelis and being the focus player and how it'd be kind of cool if they could like store code, and you made a joke about R2D2, and I like wrote it down.
Yeah, you're a jerk about that. Well, very cool.
A jerk? I thought I was being a good GM to take the stuff that you guys were asking for and work it in. I'm sorry.
That's how you get bad rolls from the
just
GM.
giving you a hard
That's
time.
where she starts calling you because you make those comments.
I don't
Matt.
need the GM for bad rolls. Thank you very much. I can do that on my own.
That's fair. Do either of you recognize who Agent Benjamin is?
I need a refresher. Wait, is it Obi-Wan? No.
It is.
There you go.
When? Oh, is that who he was taking the stuff to? I was too busy planning my death.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry,
what
I
was
didn't catch it.
Obi-Wan's name when he was in
Ben
hiding?
Kenobi, yeah.
Ben. Agent Benjamin. I thought it was a really creative way to not be too obvious.
No, that's cool. I honestly, to be honest, I was busy thinking about how to end this so much that I didn't even hear the instructions to Tavelis.
Matt's going to listen later and be like, whoa.
I was flying a ship.
That was cool, man. All right. Well, we will be doing a post-adventure Q&A as well as a game review of the Esper Genesis game system. If you want to check it out, you can on our Patreon. But until next time.
We hope you can find yourself a galaxy or a ship.
And a crew.
So you can launch into your own NatFun.
Woo.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I will survive. I'm going to duct tape this thing back together and start a
I
business.
know, he just got a ship and they're destroying it all around him.
That's all right.
Even
I
Tuvelis
can
was like,
fix it.
eject everything that's not necessary. Just the ship just disassembled itself around you.
It's all right. I need something slick and fast, and I don't need it to look like it did before. You did a very
People pay
Millennium
for
Falcon
scrap.
on me. It's very Millennium Falcon now. It looks like a beater now. I'm all about it.
Nice.
Love it.
We hope you enjoyed our sci-fi adventure, Cipher Syndicate. Do you think Dathkar or Ulrich survived this encounter? What about Rhona? And what will Tuvelis do on the other side of the rift? Let us know on our social media or tell us about it on Patreon, where you can find character stat blocks from this adventure and others, as well as cutting room floor clips, exclusive episodes, merch, and even a chance to win a free game every month. You can find all that and more at patreon.com/natfun. And if you'd like to play Esper Genesis or one of the Crucible Corps modules from Skydon Game Studios for yourself, we highly recommend you check them out. We had a blast playing Basilisk Rendezvous and Crisis at Peltiveria. But there's so much more Esper Genesis adventure yet to get into at skydongames.com and DriveThruRPG. And while you're there, check out Skydon Games' latest release, Phantasy Star Tabletop RPG, a cooperative storytelling game where you and your friends take on the roles of heroic protagonists in a boundless universe based on the popular Phantasy Star video game series. We'll have links to both in the show notes and on our website, natfunpodcast.com. And if you'd like to know what's coming up next from NatFun, we will be returning to our favorite Breathless game system with a feral and furious heist as we play Critter Force 5 by Groove Games. You can even check out the trailer right now. Ever wonder what you could expect from a heist made up of fluffy neighborhood critters? How about heart-pounding moments worthy of a James Bond movie?
I'm going to take that remaining piece of bubble gum there, rip it in half to each of my paws, and suction cup it to the glass and start climbing up to the handle.
That's fantastic. Maybe some confrontations with some not-so-friendly furry foes.
Didn't I see you locked up a while back? Weren't you stuck on the porch? How'd you get out the porch?
Yeah, but the rabies thing didn't stick. I just ate toothpaste. I was foaming at the mouth. And what heist wouldn't be complete without a costume change?
Actually, are there 3 hats?
You know, they have all sorts of sombreros.
Okay, this is turning into Three Amigos. It's fine.
All that and so much more chaos as a jumpy squirrel, a fluffy bunny, and a hairless cat take on some heists in our upcoming fun shot, The Ferocious Five. You can listen on YouTube, your favorite podcast listening network, and our website, natfunpodcast.com.